Hello, everybody. Welcome to this. This is a special episode of Sock Talks with Joy and Sean because I am in Pittsburgh and Sean is in.
I'm now in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida. It's my backyard now,
Look at that. Look at his backyard now.
and
I'm
I walked to the beach today. It was 5 minutes, so yeah, a little different.
so yeah.
There's more bragging that'll come when it gets cold up north. That's when I can really rub it in. That it was
I see.
75 today. I almost had to put a long sleeve shirt on.
Well, it's funny. Even though we've been doing all this virtually, it's like now you feel like so far away. It's like, Sean, where are you? You're
Right,
close to me. We're not
same
side by side
distance.
states anymore. But hey, we're both. We love what we're doing. We love that so many of you are getting value for what we do here with Sock Talks, and share it, pass it on, and definitely give us some comments. We love to hear comments or even your take on the conversation that we're having.
Right.
So this one, Sean and I were talking about today's, and we realized that we've never really talked about this, and we all face these kind of challenges when you're down. What do you do to pick yourself up? I mean, how do you get yourself out of a slump? You know how he slumps, right, Sean? You're always upbeat and
I am always top of the world. Yeah.
yeah, right.
And I also have some swampland down here for sale too, if anybody's interested. So
A what?
I also have some swampland for sale if anyone's interested.
Oh, there you go.
Buy that. Now we all face challenge. I don't care who you are, you're going to face challenges, and most times the challenge you're facing, most people have seen it. Unfortunately, a lot of times when people get faced with a challenge, they kind of take the easy road out and quit. And I don't think we're going to talk about the different kinds of challenges because we all have them, but maybe what can we do to you're facing something, and are you taking, it's almost like you have to take a step back and okay, this is happening, what I'm doing is not working, so what can I do differently? So really asking yourself questions,
Right.
and kind of going down a checklist, and what can I do differently, and how can I reframe whatever challenge you're facing, what that is. So I just think it's probably the biggest, and whether it's network marketing, corporate America, but it's probably the biggest thing that makes people quit is
give up.
They give up. Don't quit, damn it. That's the mantra. And a lot of times, most of us know that when you get that biggest challenge and when you get through it, that's when your biggest success happens.
Right. Right.
So, and I know, Joy, you talk about maybe some other ways like accountability groups or mentors.
Yeah. I know in my career before network marketing, I used to manage, the Kmarts, and as an assistant coming up through the ranks, there were times it was like, what am I doing? Why am I? And I can remember sometimes just snapping out of it. It's just like getting out of a different environment. I would go into the city. I was near Washington, D.C. I'd go into the city, visit some friends. And I can remember one time driving back, and it's just like all of a sudden it's like, okay, Joy, just get a grip. You can do this.
Right.
You can, and it was just it just overtook me, and I continued on. But then there's other times where it's like, oh my gosh, I need somebody to kick me in the butt. I need somebody to give me a challenge. I am a challenge person. I mean, give me a challenge and daggone, I'm going to do it. And sometimes you just need that to pick yourself back up. Now, Sean, because in many of the team meetings or things around the Pittsburgh area, you were always a part of that. And I would run challenges, 90-day challenges or 30-day sprints or something like that. And I used to tell the team all the time, I said, I only do this because it helps me. It's going to help you, but it's really helping me too.
Right.
By having this, it's like, I'm not going to put a challenge out there for somebody and not do it myself.
Right. Go do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just, you kind of need that. And I think a good accountability person is important too. And sometimes it takes a long time to find that accountability person because you both need to be kind of like on an even
And not and not in the same down. It doesn't have to be in the same downline
No,
or on
you
the
in
team.
fact, you don't want it even in the same downline.
Right.
I think it's probably even better to have somebody that's completely in a, kind of getting different information from different people, kind of
Right.
thing. But a good accountability person, I think, is important. And I tell you, I've gone through, I won't say gone through, but I've had different accountability persons along the way that weren't of a benefit for either one of us.
Right.
And but it does help. I think good accountability groups are important too. I think, if you get into a group where you're all like-minded and kind of helping each other along the way. But you also have to be vulnerable, or not be so, I should say, not be so vulnerable either. You got to realize that it's, what you're going through is it's okay.
Right.
Everybody goes through them. Everybody has their ups and their downs, and it's all okay. It's just a matter of finding your way to know that it's okay. And if it really is what you want, you'll find your way to get after it. And that kind of goes back to having your story. What is your goal? Jordan had a great call this Monday.
Hmm.
He was talking about this, kind of the residual side of it, but it kind of led into people's dreams and what they were doing with the money that they have.
Right.
And it just kind of like resonated with me. It's like, well, if you don't have that dream, no matter how big or small it is, you're going to give up when you have bad times.
Yeah, and I think that whatever that's a great point. It's not, you know, it's got to be greater than send out cards
Hmm. Hmm.
and personal to you, whatever that is,
Whatever it is.
because that'll help you push through some of the trying times that you're going to have. I mean, it doesn't matter what career you have,
Hmm.
you're going to have those hurdles that you got to get over to get to the next level. Same, I was, came from a banking background, and I remember early on that my bank actually created a mentor program and matched you up with somebody that wasn't even, I was in retail, but it was somebody in a different area. And it just, they've been in the bank longer, they've seen things. It's a great
Right.
sounding board. Hey, here's what I'm coming across. Instead of beating your head against the wall, they'd be like, oh yeah, I came across that. Here's what I did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. I never thought of that. That was easy, but it is, you're right. Having the right person to have those conversations, and it's not to be a bitch session.
No,
It's
no.
here's what I'm coming across, or here's what I'm struggling at. What have you seen? What have you done with this? And having that, almost that sounding board. And sometimes, like you said, just having that conversation,
Right.
the light bulb goes off in your head before they even say something
Right,
sometimes.
right,
So,
right. Yeah, I'll share. In my days when I was managing Kmart's, talk about ups and downs with that kind of a career along the way. But one of the things that I learned, probably the hard way, I guess, is like, when people tell you you have a problem, like something's wrong in a store, something's wrong with this, or something's wrong with that. I got to the point that it's like when somebody told me that, like, you know, Miss K, they could never say Kohannes. They could never say Bartholomew either. It was always Miss B or Miss K, kind of thing. But anyways, say, look at me and say, Miss K, you have a problem. You have a problem, right? This
right,
whole store, 100 employees, and I've got the problem, right? But I learned that the best thing that pulled me out of that downer situation was me just looking at it. In those days, you could kind of grab your shoulders and just say, hey, look, I don't have a problem. We have an opportunity.
right.
It was a mindset. It was
Yep.
a mindset shift. And even saying those words totally changed how you handle the situation.
Right.
Totally.
Because you have a
Yeah.
problem. That sounds awful personal.
I know it
And
does. It
we
does.
can take it that way.
That's exactly what
Yeah.
people, I know I did for years, and it's not, and I'll tell you, when they said that to me, I could feel it in my shoulders. I mean,
Right.
I could really feel the anxiety building, and for me to be able to verbally say, no, 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 I don't have
What's
a
our
problem.
opportunity?
We have an opportunity,
Yep.
and it wasn't me, it was we, so it kind of like, but that just like lifted it right off, but
It is, a lot
that's,
of it is the language, that we talk to ourselves about, or even how we communicate. So you're right. That is a great, great, great point.
yeah, yeah. And it was just, it's kind of, and I think it's the same way. And, when I want to say it's worse, it's more relevant or more amplified when you're independent. when you're not
True.
working for
Yeah.
somebody, you're working for yourself. So now it is a little different. You have to kind of really find a way to know that if it's what you want to do and you've got
Keep
the
going.
right goal out there, you're going to pull out of this.
And typically, if somebody is, we're getting more detailed than but if somebody says something poorly about whatever network marketing company you're in, that says something more about them than you.
Hmm.
Hard sometimes not to take it personally, but you just have to say, I've got my dream. I know what I'm 100% positive on what I'm going for, and you let it roll off and just move on. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, as we're talking about this, talk about going into different angles here now. Yesterday
wow,
alone,
that's shocking that we do that, huh?
I know. But just yesterday alone, I had a gentleman. He's a realtor, but he's also, gosh, I don't even know how to describe his position, but he's like a realtor and lawyer and everything like combined. And he
Okay.
markets his business as being the full package, kind of thing. But he's also, because he has a lawyer mind, he like kind of thinks a little differently as well. And I've actually met with him before. We've had discussions. He's on a mastermind group with me and something that I was in. And he was going on about, we have a VIP call once a month, and we were on this call, with the person that kind of runs this No BS marketing group. And and he was talking about all these things, and he says the people aren't coming to me. I'm not getting the referrals. I don't know what else I can do. I did this. Of course, I'm chomping at the bit.
Huh.
It's like, Kevin,
I got an idea.
Kevin, and so I let him go on, and finally, as I was, part of the group, and I said, Kevin, I said, please let me work. Let's work together for a few months. Give me the opportunity to work
Right.
together. And and I actually texted that to him, as we were talking. And I saw him on Facebook the other day, and I says, hey, what do we want to talk? He says, well, give me a couple days, da da da. So the other night, it was like 7:30 at night, and he texted me. Well, it was Monday night because the call was getting ready to
Oh,
be on
yeah.
corporate call at 8 o'clock. Yeah, it was about 7:45. He says, "Can you talk now?" I said, "Oh, unfortunately, I can't." I said, "But I'll be glad. What's your tomorrow look like?
Mhm.
Because that by the time Jordan's call comes along, I am like shot.
Right. Yeah.
It's a long day here in the East Coast for that.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I didn't hear from him at all, and then all of a sudden I get this text from him like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He said, "Well, I'm really busy um, and I want to thank you for the cards that you gave me, including the one for me and my wife. I just recently sent him one with, something on Facebook or whatever. And then there was a blank line. And then all of a sudden it said, I'm no longer interested in using send out cards. And it was just like so out there.
Right.
It shocked me. I was like, oh my God, did I say something to him? Did I offend him in
No.
any way? And I really went down that road a little bit, and I even did message him. I said, did I offend you in any way? I said, because you were all ready, and all of a sudden
Right.
it's like, it was just such a blatant, to the point conversation, and I'm like, like really,
That was the attorney part of him. Got to put it in writing that I'm not interested, so you won't talk about it to me anymore.
yeah, it was like,
Without even looking at it.
so it was like really weird. And then his only answer back was that, please respect the fact that I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
but that bothered me. That bothered me.
Absolutely.
It
Yep.
really did. I really took it personal. And actually, the lady who runs the No BS, I was kind of like, Becky, did I offend him on the call? When I made that comment, she goes, no, it's all good, and everything. And then last night she sends me an email, says he stopped her program too.
Okay.
It was just like they said they reevaluated everything over the weekend. So they is him and his wife. It's his third.
So cut back on marketing to your people.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. So I think really that, but the whole point of that was, you still will do.
Oh, you do.
You still will kind of put yourself there. And I was just like, you know what,
Yep.
he's one.
And then the flip side of that is the more people you're working with, the less that bothers you too.
Yes.
If you've got only him in your pipeline, yes, that's going to bother you a lot.
Yeah.
If you've got 40 or 50 people in your pipeline, I'll replace them with 5 more that'll get it. And I don't, because here's what I found: when you try to talk somebody into it that's like that, they're never going to use it. They're going to be a big pain in the ass.
Right.
typically,
Mhm.
versus finding somebody, finding the people that want to do it. And there's millions of them out there. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but you're right. It's hard not to, what did I do?
I know it is. It
It's
was like
not,
really
I
rough.
just, I
But
just
I
had a
will tell you,
conversation.
after I flipped around, and kind of got myself out of it, and I had another conversation with somebody, later showed them the site, and then on Facebook, somebody's dog had passed away, and it was like I didn't have their address, and so I did, as I coach everybody else to just ask them,
Right.
So I sent a private message and I was just telling her, I said, so sorry again for the loss of your dog. And, I said, do you mind sharing your mailing address, a good mailing address? I'd like to send you something. And of course, the conversation she gave it right away, and just like, that is so
Sure.
sweet of you and everything. And I said, I know what you're going through. I lost my dog in October. We started
Right.
this whole conversation on Facebook, and then all of a sudden she comes across what she says, you were just like an angel coming to me tonight, just to be able to talk through this.
There you go.
And
Perfect.
I thought, oh my gosh,
One for the good guys.
yeah, one for the good guys. So it was just like, wow, you go from this extreme, just
Right.
you know what you're grateful for as you see the grateful behind it.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just, you just kind of keep moving. But
Yeah.
anyways, I don't know how we got off on that, but
It's what we do. So, all right.
but it is,
So,
it is fine. Just, if you have to even walk away from what you're doing for a while. I do walking helps clear my head a little bit. I mean, just get out in nature. And I heard this at the retreat I went to, and I just saw another article on it recently too. Take your shoes off, walk in the grass. There's something about walking the bottom of your feet and grounding from the earth,
and third, yeah,
you know. And of course, you can walk on the beach.
I did today, did yesterday. So, yeah, that'll be a daily thing.
Oh wow, you're gonna be out. You're gonna really be out there pretty soon, huh?
So, yeah.
So
So, try
anyway,
to, try to reframe the challenge in your own mind, ask questions, um, find an accountability group or partner. That again, kind of maybe somebody that's or a mentor, and it can be somebody that's in a different field even than
hmm
what you're in, just to kind of bounce questions off of. And don't try to not take the things when somebody shuts you down like they did with Joy. It's hard not to go, what the hell? But there's more people out there that you can have effect, like you did with the person losing her dog, that you are an angel. And that's part of the greatness of Send Out Cards and what we have, that
yes, yeah,
really no other company has. So just be a product of the product and do it the right way, and
yeah.
you'll get through it.
I was gonna say, after we went through all this, it's like, send a card. Just stop and send a bunch of
Absolutely.
cards. I mean, that's
Can
like
you
so
send him a
common.
card?
That's like so common, when you
Yeah,
do have a bad time, just sit down and think of somebody else and send that card out to,
absolutely.
kind of thing. So awesome. All right,
All right.
buddy. Well, hey, I hope you have fun getting unpacked and starting to get your life together
Yep.
down here. And
Last truckload's coming tonight, so we'll get it all unpacked and then realize that we brought too much stuff, and but that's okay. So
did you
we'll
get
get it
rid of
all
a
set
lot
up.
up there?
What's that?
Did you
Yes,
get a
we did.
little? Did you? Yeah.
And did a really cool thing where an auction, they came in, they put it up, and then they take a percentage. So that, and then everybody comes and gets it. That's what happened on Monday night. So
That's
um,
awesome.
yeah. So, but
Okay.
and we're going to take our time. So
Yeah.
no rush. So
Awesome. Okay.
all right,
Time to build send out cards in Florida.
absolutely.
Yeah.
New team
Awesome.
down here.
Well,
All right.
hey everybody. Thanks for tuning in
Have a
again.
great week.
Give us some comments. Tell us how you come out of something like this when you really get yourself down. What do you do to bring yourself back up
Best practices. Yeah, absolutely.
again? Yeah, we'd love to hear it. So thanks. Hey
Take
Sean,
care.
take care. Bye everybody.